Good morning, y'all. How y'all doing this morning? Me, I'm doing good. I am up early this morning than I normally would be up, but here I am. I was strolling down to see what I missed as far as the Country Wayne skits. I saw something that I really want to play devil's advocate on, and that is what PRE said to Anthony about him being selfish. The problem in this situation is that PRE doesn't know the whole situation. Like Amber doesn't know the whole situation. Nobody knows the whole situation with Shayla. For those of y'all that keep thinking that Anthony is not the father of that baby, that is not the direction they're going. Wayne did a video on Facebook that said he's not going to go there when it comes to that baby. They're not going to do that. That's not the direction they're going. And you clearly can see they're not going that direction. If they were really going to go the direction about the DNA, they would have been with the divorce and Amber would have asked for the DNA test. But Anthony is not going to basically say that baby is not his. And Arby also did a DNA test as well. There's 2 DNA tests. And there's not a third person. Shayla was already pregnant when she got with Mike. She was months pregnant when she basically was with Mike. Matter of fact, she got with Mike after the baby shower. Shayla was for about 5 or 6 months when she got with Mike. It was right not too long before she had the baby that they broke up, but she was not with Mike long enough for that baby to be his. The baby is Anthony's, and that's not the direction they're going. If you look at what's going on now with PRE, as far as PRE is concerned, PRE is thinking back to her situation and what he did to her. That's why she can relate to Shayla, because Anthony slept with her and then turned around and moved on. And she sees the pattern of him doing this. So I understand what she's saying as far as the fact of the matter that he is being selfish when it comes to not being honest with Shayla about him wanting his wife back. So that is where the problem is. The problem is, even though, yes, Amber did file for divorce, but Amber should be the one going to talk to him about him signing the papers. She ain't done that. The only reason she did it was because Brittany pressured her to sign the papers. Amber did not want to sign the papers, and she didn't. So at the end of the day, Anthony only wants his wife back because he sees that it will be cheaper for him to be with Amber than it would be to be with Shayla, because Shayla, like he said, he takes care of everything, the house, everything. And all Shayla, and I get it, Shayla just wants Anthony to do right by her, but this is the problem. Anthony never wanted Shayla. Even when he found that they slept together, he kicked her out. The way he treated her before he found out about Amber and Wayne, he was getting ready to leave her completely alone. This was out of spite. That's what this was. It was spite. He wanted to get back at Amber. And Shayla was just a part of that. But Shayla also took advantage of that. She took advantage of the fact that Amber slept with Wayne as a way to get Anthony to continue to deal with her. That's how she got Anthony. She didn't get Anthony because the fact of the matter that Anthony found her on his own. She was there for him. She was helping him through this divorce, and then after the divorce they got together. That is one thing. But that ain't how this situation went. And so, Peoria, I get your point. He is being selfish because he needs to stop playing with both of these women. But the difference between you and Dalen told him the truth. He's being selfish not because of what you're telling him, but he's playing 2 best friends against each other. He's not being honest with either one of them. He's not. He's not being honest with Amber, and he's not being honest with Shayla. He is playing games. If he really wanted his wife, like Dalen said, you would went home to your wife when you got caught. You would have dealt with the consequences. Y'all could have worked through it, but you didn't come home. You stayed out there with Shayla. You were out there with Shayla. You embarrassed Amber every day being with Shayla. You brought Shayla around everybody. So at the end of the day, why would she take you back considering the fact when you got caught, you didn't go home? See, that's what Amber needs to be saying. It's not the fact that she couldn't forgive her husband. It's the fact that he didn't even come home. And when he did, it was always an argument. Always something. And like I said, she lost David. She lost her first baby. You know what I'm saying? All of that is a lot. I wouldn't take him back. And if I was them, I would have did the skit telling Glow about her losing her baby and her going through trying to, really deal with that, because that's the thing that's really holding her, the loss of that baby. But when she think back to when she was pregnant, all the times he stressed her out, she gonna think about the fact that he was with Shayla. But see, that hasn't gotten to that point yet. I want that baby to be brought up. And the reason I want the baby to be brought up because that is what's going to make her realize what Anthony actually did to her. The way he just sat there mentally, emotionally, mind play games with her the whole time she was pregnant till she lost the baby. That's crazy. So like I said, you can't be mad at somebody because they're telling you like it is. But with Dalen is actually letting him know he's in the wrong. Piari is cuddling him and acting like she still hopes that one day they're going to get together. At the end of the day, Piari, this is not the same situation. You just said that Shayla was unstable. Now you telling Anthony that he's being selfish. The only reason he's being selfish because he's playing two women against each other. Instead of him being honest and just saying he don't want neither one of them, deal with what go on with the asset situation, deal with what go on when it comes to the child support, and leave both of them alone. That's all he need to do is leave both of them alone. But instead of him doing that and being honest, he don't want to deal with the consequences, repercussions, and karma. This is a lot of people. There are a lot of people that just don't want to deal with their karma. And they want to keep the negativity going on as long as they can. They want to keep the delusion and the illusion going on. And it doesn't work like that. Because like I said, and all it is if he go back to Shayla, it's not going to be because he genuinely wants to go back. He going to go back because he's scared that he might do something. She might do something to the baby. But he don't want Shayla. Not after what he's seen. And like I said, PR, why would you want him to go back considering the fact of the way she acted? Like I said, there's no way in the world I would condone that. And I would never tell one of my male friends to go back to somebody like that. I would never do that. There's just no way in the world I would tell somebody to do that. That's insane. Hold on a second. Alright, y'all, I'm back. But like I said, it's just crazy how there are people out here that are saying, I want Amber and Anthony back. For what? The damage that both of them have caused each other. Why would y'all want them back together? There's no way in the world I'm going back to damage. Ain't no way in the world after I worked hard to get my peace, quiet, and tranquility to go back to chaos. Ain't no way in the world. It's one thing if it's been like years later and that person proves they're a different person, then maybe, but no. Amber and Anthony are still the same two people. They ain't changed. Amber ain't changed. Anthony has not changed. Neither one of them have changed. They're both the same. They're still the same two people. And they get back together, Amber's still gonna have a bunch of people over there. Anthony is still gonna be Anthony. Neither one of them have changed at all. So even though, yes, what happened to them happened, some people just ain't never gonna change. They're not. They're gonna blame everybody except the mirror. Both of them need to take accountability for what they've done. But like I said, if Anthony go back, he's gonna be scared of what Shayla gonna do to that baby. Not because he genuinely wants to be back. That's not a reason to go back to somebody. The man can pay child support. All it is he's in a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. If he leaves Shayla gonna pay child support and he's gonna be scared he's never gonna see his child. If he goes back to, if he stays with Shayla, then he's got to pay all this money in alimony and child support. No, I mean divorce settlements and stuff like that. That's all it is. And either way, Anthony's gonna lose money. But the question is it worth losing the money to have peace? That's the question.